What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from MTG Headquarters, bringing you a Pauper as sponsored by Puka Trade deck tech video. So I wanted to remind you guys that you can trade your Magic cards with me over on Puka Trade for free, and it's a pretty sweet way to either trade up or trade out of stuff you don't want for other stuff that you do want. They've got a live preview of their new version coming up, as well as MTGO integration coming up finally. So feel free to check that out. Thanks again for being a sponsor, Puka Trade. So this is my mono black control that I most often play in Pauper. So Pauper is a common only format, and probably one of the most interesting formats I've ever played. Has incredible low entry fee, especially if you're willing to play on MTGO, because the Pauper community here is huge. It's just hard sometimes to get these cards that are like only a penny, you know? People don't want to ship a penny or 5-cent card or something like that. But here we go. I run... This is basically someone else's deck that I've modified a little bit. I'll give you some feedback. So now... after Shadows over Innistrad, I've been having a lot of problem with Delver and Kiln Fiend, ATOG type decks, those types of things. So I added 4 copies of Deadweight, 2 in the main and 2 in the board, and it actually works pretty good against ATOG and Kiln Fiend in my experience. There's also 3 copies of Disfigure, which works great, but I find Deadweight, while instant speed removal is good, oftentimes people are smart enough to leave counter magic up or something like that. So an enchantment is just a little bit nicer in the like ATOG scenario, where they could sacrifice an enchantment to give it a +2 defense, +2/+2 or whatever, pump it up. They have to keep sacrificing to keep countering that. So it's nice. Anyway, Disfigure, 4 copies of Chainer's Edict for value. Sacrifice a creature with a 7. So early, you can keep the board clear. Late, you can cast it for 7. The Quombage Witches, I'm guessing at that pronunciation, but kind of an obscure card, but it's really helpful in Pauper because, one, it's double black for Devotion, where Grey Merchant is one of my main win conditions. But it also pings stuff, so you can face them for 1 if you want, or you could kill a creature, but there is a drawback. So if I decide to deal 1 damage to target creature or player, then they deal 1 to either me or a creature that I have. Now, I don't have a lot of 1 toughness stuff, so sometimes if I'm trying to double trigger the witches, they could kill. I have to be careful because it could kill one of my other creatures, but most often I'm taking care of little 1 toughness creatures or facing. And then we've got Sign in Blood, 4 copies of that. I'm thinking of going down to 3. I'm not totally sure. But maybe what I would do is go to 3 and then run 3 copies of Victim of Night is what I'm thinking of testing next. Victim of Night, double black, destroy target non-vampire, non-werewolf, non-zombie creature. Almost always just a very solid removal spell. Phyrexian Rager gives you some tempo in that you draw a card for 3. 3 mana, 2/2 is fine in Pauper, especially when it draws you a card. Then Chittering Rats, which is really great. It's good for pumping up Devotion, but it's also really effective late game when the opponent only has maybe 1 or 2 cards in hand, because you can force them to keep putting it back on top of their library. So really stall them out. It's late game. It's very powerful. And then it runs 2 copies of Oubliette, which needs a reprint, by the way. Basically, it's like any enchantment removal. So enters the battlefield, exile target creature, and all auras attached to it. So that's nice. When they blow this up, and there are decks that do, there's a mono white deck that has creatures that, if I can't think of the name of it, but if you pay the kicker, you can blow up an enchantment. So it's less good against that deck, but overall, it's very good and doubly good because of the double black in the casting cost, which helps build Devotion. Then it runs 2 copies of Tendrils. Early, I try to save this because in a lot of long games, you take a lot of damage with stuff like Sign in Blood and the Witches, that I like to cast this as late as possible because it's a great removal spell at instant speed. It's really good, but also the life gain. So I want to play as many swamps out as I can because I only play 2 of those. So I only have those 2 options or Gray Merchants to gain life back. 1 copy of Pestilence, great card. Double black for Devotion, but also just a board wiper against 1 toughness or 2 toughness creatures. If somebody goes wide on you, it's very easy to just wipe the board. Then 4 copies of Gray Merchant, 2 copies of Gurmag Angler. Another thing I thought about doing is playing a 3rd Gurmag Angler and 1 less Sign in Blood. These are things I'm thinking about right now. For the lands, very simple. 19 Swamps and 4 Barren Moor. Barren Moor is great for the cycling, late game, and you just don't want too many of them in your opening hand because you don't really want to... You want to get your opening hand and start building your board presence and your devotion right away. And then use your spot removal to just stay alive long enough to draw Gray Merchant. The sideboard runs 2 Deadweights and 3 Duress. I'm happy with my 1-drops in the sideboard. Shrivel is probably going to come out. I don't know if it's just like I often play Pauper against people in my stream on weeknights, and I very rarely run into token decks or large 1 toughness decks. Like Shrivel is very helpful against tokens or elves or whatever, but I don't board this in often. Oftentimes, even if someone goes really wide on me, I can just outdraw them, outpower them with Gray Merchant draws and all my removal. So, I'm okay with it for now. Wrench Mind, I really like. I've considered mainboarding some of these because I run into a lot of decks that run a lot of spells that I want to get rid of. Choking Sands, obviously, for destroying non-swamps, are really for targeting non-basics. I almost never board this in, although I probably should, against a couple different decks floating out there, and another copy of Pestilence. So, I mean, it's a fine deck. It's my first really entrance into Constructed, so I really like it. I also have a Infect deck and an Affinity deck, which I could show you guys if you guys enjoy these deck tech type videos. I know I've done a deck tech on this before. I don't remember which channel I put it on, but it has changed, and now I'm going to do some gameplay. All right, here we go. Actually, didn't take that long. I was worried that being it's 3 in the afternoon. This is not a great opener, but I'll keep it. I find myself saying that. I feel like one of the things I need to do to be a better Magic player is I need to start shipping more hands. I think I fear going down to 2 or 5 way more than I should. I mean, it happens, but whatever. All right, let's see. All right, Chittering Rats is fine, although this early is really not that good. I would have rather seen the Phyrexian, but let's see. Mental Note. Fine. Is he just going to keep up? I have an idea. Oh, Delver. Okay, fine. Totally fine. And this is why I like Deadweight. So I'm going to kill his Delver now. He doesn't have 2 counter spells. Double Delver. Oh, now I'll kill them both. So this will be pretty spicy. Double Delver gets double disfigured. Right? 1, go. That was a very nice opener for him, but now he's down to no Delvers. And I get to make him redraw a card. Although Pestilence probably would have been okay against Delver in this situation, but whatever. We don't have any of our heavy hitters yet. But if Delver... We have enough to keep Delvers off the board right now, which is really nice. Geist, fine. It has Undying, which is kind of annoying. But it can only block creatures with flying. So let's get in for 2. Basically, this card, I could ignore it if I wanted. Because the Undying forces me into 2-for-1ing myself to get rid of it, but I feel like it's probably worth it. Given we don't have a whole heck of a lot else going on, and he's only got 3 cards in hand. We've already taken 3 creatures out, so he may or may not even have... Yeah, see, blanked. Or he's keeping counter magic up, which is fine, because he's on a 10-turn clock now. I mean, I could have played Pestilence, I guess. Mental Note, fine. He is stuck on land a little bit, but most Pauper decks don't really, at least the ones I play against, don't have a huge requirement for a lot of land. I mean, I'm sure there are some that do, obviously, but in my matchups, it's almost always Delver, Atog, or Kiln Fiend is what I play against, or Elves. It could be the time of day. I know there's a lot of decks. Gurmag Angler, huh? Seems good. Let's try. Excuse me. Nope. Counterspell. All right. So now we probably need to hit. Let me think. 5. Yeah, we are in trouble here. Okay, well, we're going to put the witches out. Definitely a drawback of kind of blowing out all your removal early. Let's cycle that. Dang. I'm going to play Pestilence out. It's probably just a bad keep, I guess. But we're going to try to draw into... I think I have to play this land. Because I need... If I hit a land next turn, at least I can flash back Chainer's Edict. I don't like showing 0 cards in hand, but if we hit a land, at least we have an out with Chainer's Edict if it resolves. Excuse me. I wish that it was a faster matchup, but I guess people that like gameplay probably are okay with it. I'm not sure. Thought Scour, fine. Alright, not good. Well, we hit our 7th land, so at least I feel like I took the right line there, playing it, but we'll see if this resolves. Seems unlikely. It did. Nice. Okay. That was fortunate, but we are completely out of gas. More card draw. Yep. If we could get ahead of him, then we could do some work with Pestilence if he plays something out. But right now, honestly, a Gray Merchant would be very good top deck. Gurmag Angler obviously would be another very good top deck. Getting rid of his Gurmag was pretty clutch. All right, Victim of Night. At least we have a piece of removal. Get there. Alright, so we got ahead of him now at least. Okay, now he gained a life, so we're even. Oh, Phyrexian Rager. Very good. If it resolves. Seems unlikely. If it does resolve, we probably win this game. Okay. It's pretty good. Drawing more land isn't good, but... He goes to 7, 6, 5, 4 next turn if he doesn't play a creature. 3-2-1 with Pestilence. 3-2-1-0, I mean. So there's a Grey Merchant. Let's play it out for style points. If he has a counter, then we don't win. But it'd be cool to win with our actual win con. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, he had it. Darn. Maybe that was greedy. I should have just used Pestilence, I suppose. I probably should have been pinging for 1, right? Whatever. Yeah. I don't often actually play Pestilence, so... excuse me. Let's see. Against him... I like those dead weights a lot against his flyers and everything. I mean, Oubliette, I guess, is fine. Pestilence worked out pretty good for us, and I thought we had a pretty suboptimal draw. Let's just cut Oubliette. This gives us some early fire to deal with Delvers and his Geist. Oubliette, it's a full 2 turns later. And as you know, sometimes Delver can just get out of control. I should have been pinging with Pestilence. But overall, I feel like that was a pretty good match. Would have been nice to win with Grey Merchant, but, you know, what can you do? I really am enjoying Pauper, and I think, like, as I get, excuse me, a little more, sorry, I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm coming down with something here or what, but I really enjoy it as a format, and I think there'll be a point in my life when I have, like, 10 or 12 different Pauper decks and, like, 0 standard decks, you know what I mean? Just because it's, I mean, Pauper's fun to play. It's super cheap. And if you play online, like, okay, let me think about this. This would be an incredibly greedy keep. I'm doing it. No, turn 1 Delver. Come on, hit a land. Damn. Okay. Well, I know that was just a silly keep, but Brainstorm, fine. We can keep his board clear even with just 1 mana, and then we have just hot fire in our hand between Phyrexian Rager, double Chittering Rats, getting to 2 land, and then, you know, let's see here. Docky! Okay. Doc's down here now. Alright, now I'm feeling a little like, alright, come on, we gotta get that 3rd land. If we can get the Phyrexian Ragers going. If we get stuck here... Oh, Sign in Blood, that's fine. Ooh, gross. Didn't even hit a single land. That is suboptimal. Let's see. What do I want to ship? I think the Edict, because then at least we can cast it later. And it would appear that Tendrils is probably too far away from being cast. Making an aggressive keep like I did there against control is really stupid. Uh, 2 for 1 myself? Wait a minute. Comes back as a 3/3, doesn't it? Yeah, so I can't even... Don't mind me, Doc. We'll deadweight it, I guess. And then deal with a 3/3. This is not great. This is not a great line. I guess I should have kept that Chainer's Edict, I suppose. Alright, take one. Fine. At least we minimize damage. The problem now is even if we do hit our land, he's got a mitt full of counter magic. Alright. I think we're going to go... The card draw is really important, but we need a sacrificial rat here to eat up some... Oh, it resolved? That feels weird. You must just have card draw then in hand? That seemed weird, huh? Oh, and he just cast nothing and passed the turn back? We're in big trouble against Gurmag, though, which he's now well online. But if he doesn't cast anything in this main phase, I'm gonna just go Chittering Rats again. Chainer's Edict, fine. I'm fine with that. So, I think we could drop Gurmag right now, but I'm going to go Chittering Rats because I think he doesn't have anything in his hand. And the longer we can keep it that way, the better. The more likely we'll be able to catch up. That's my game plan right now. I don't care about that Geist right now either. And I'll just keep casting them. I'll cast another one, like DJ Khaled. Another one. Another one. Right, Docky? Get me for one? Yeah. Okay. Pass turn. Nice. Excuse you, Docky. Get in for two. The more rats. Keep drawing that same card, dog. Resolves, because we know it will. So next turn, I think, so I'm out of turns of making him keep drawing the same card over and over again. Unless we draw our fourth Chittering Rats. But we are up to 4 devotion, and so maybe we go, okay, let me think here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could... You know what? I want to get to 5 land. So I'm going to play this. I'm not going to cycle it. And then we're going to cast the Rager because I don't think he has a counterspell in hand. Otherwise he would have used it on my many Chittering Rats. Alright. Tendrils will catch us up too. Alright, so now he finally gets to draw a fresh card. Ooh, Docky, you're falling off the table. Okay. Interesting. Agony Warp. That's some sideboard tech, but fine. That doesn't feel that good against me. Now next turn, if I don't hit a land... I actually... If I don't hit a land, I think I go for Gurmag. He may have drawn Agony Warp. Yeah, okay, so now I think, what's more frustrating for him? I think the Witches first. Potentially bait out any counters. Okay. Fine. I think what we're going to do is witches, rats, deadweight. Okay. Bait it out counter. He doesn't have 2. Unless he's like the most patient player ever. He might. Wow. He let all those rats resolve, huh? Interesting. Okay. Well played. Get in for 4? So he had Deprive and Counterspell, and he let me keep casting rats. Interesting. I guess maybe that's just the smart move, because he knows he doesn't lose to him. He loses a big Gray Merchant or Gurmag, and he was prepared for it. So that's probably the move there. My cat Doc is down here with me. He's rarely allowed in the basement because he chews cords. Delver, fine. Yeah, no attack. I didn't think there would be one. That tells us a little something something. Counterspell. Alright, he's got 0 cards in hand now. Alright. Enough is enough. Let's cycle it. Oh, shoot. I misclicked. Dang it all. I think we're going to go here. I messed up that turn. I meant to cycle the land, and then my misplay there made me want to cast Gray Merchant when I shouldn't have. I should have attacked first, probably. No, actually, I'm okay with that. I mean, I guess it all would have changed depending on what I drew. Double Delver. I don't think Delver's that great for him now. Well, especially as a 1/1. I mean, top deck Pestilence would be pretty hilarious. Alright. I think we just go all in here. He's got 0 cards in hand. If he double blocks one of these... Alright, so there we go. What's coming up next? Sign in Blood, which would have drew another Gray Merchant, which would have been pretty spicy. Very nice. So that's how the Mono Black Control deck works. I misclicked there. I really did mean to cycle it, but whatever. As you can see, the Mono Black Control build is very powerful. It can come back. It can be played aggressively. It can be played passively. I prefer to play it aggressively and just get out and try to just win with my rats or my ragers or whatever. But thanks again to all of you guys out there watching. If you want to see more Pauper content, let me know. And for those of you who stuck around to the end, please go check me out on Puka Trade. Trade with me anytime you want. I've got definitely tons of wants on there. So check it out, and we'll talk to you again real soon. What's up, and thanks for watching this video. I produce all different kinds of content, so if you haven't yet, click on my face to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, I've got some sweet playlists, including this one, where I open up every fat pack ever created. I've also got this one over here, where I open just about anything vintage and old and expensive for your enjoyment. And all this is made possible by the awesome backers at our Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video. Hop on over there, check it out, see if it's something you might want to consider. If not, sit back, enjoy, and I'll still love you.